Hi, everybody. Well, a couple things before I start. I really wanted to do a set that would be a little poetry vacation from the world in some ways. There's so much going on right now that is so horrific. It is difficult to find your footing. Um, that being said, what is going on right now all over the world, and especially in Gaza right now, and Israel is very important. So I'm going to start off with a poem about that, and then we're going to move on. It is dark in Gaza, and we are playing cards in Pittsburgh, where we check our phones for news like each hour, like birds back to feeders full of antifreeze and grief. It is dark in Gaza now, while we play cards, gin rummy, because war is a game for children who believe that luck makes them heroes and misfortune is always deserved when they win. It is dark in Gaza today, because can anyone say? Is it the men who went rampaging, blood in the streets, cries of the women and children? Or is it the bombs falling? It is dark in Gaza, and we are playing cards and talking about Gaza and our friends who have family there and family in Israel, and all in a world where prophets have armies, ravening hordes both sides, every god alike, blood-stained hands against the huddled throngs. It is dark in Gaza. No, that's a lie. It is blazing there. Every fire, every flare, the scream of phosphorus like the screams of women and children spreading like oil slicks, like the wings of bombers, like the wings of brutal men, and death comes bright as sunlight. We are playing cards in Pittsburgh. They are calling it dark in Gaza. Soldiers are marching, and we are watching ourselves unstuck in time again. I wonder who will be left to write the story of this city. Voices like birds against cruel window panes. We speak of the dying, we speak of the dead, and dark comes to Gaza. Thank you. Okay, let's see if we can recenter ourselves. Self-care is so important to remember, but it can be so hard to remember because it feels selfish in the moment. But we can't give what we don't have. 2 steps forward into the forest. Light through tessellated tangles of brown skin and green blood, vitality and endurance, making of the air a shimmering net, capturing dust motes, small insects, and the footsteps of venturers. Caught in chiaroscuro, glen to glade, sun to shade, caught like milkweed in the web of transition from bright life to vespertine imagination. Magical miasmas rise from spongy moss and leaf litter, like rich carpet underneath the vaulted ceiling of the tabernacle woods. The atmosphere is not interrupted by bird songs. Rather, they enrich the silence, slipping sideways to preserve its pristine nature and only ringing briefly underneath the hum of hush. Something chitinous and clever rasps itself against the nerves of any who have come so far. A sudden roar, and then the crisp calls faltering back below into the all-encompassing voice of the forest, all its weight, all its meaning, all its memory, like the richness our histories lack, whispers where the trees are singing. The sun is still right in the very edge of vision. Grass clings, but falling quickly, the body shedding its memories of the fields, leaving it to nourish the mysteries. Turn back, or not. There is no unknowing. Thank you. I write a lot of the theme for today's sidereal musings is I write a lot of astrophysics into my writing. And even when the poem isn't necessarily about that, there's a lot of that imagery in here. So this is an example. Ecstatic rituals. There has always been a rhythm to the life and flow of us, of our arms out, our legs kicking. There has always been the beat. There has always been the rhythm of the earth breathing, of the trees breathing, of the light and the mystery breathing and the life. We step so carefully now, like too much weight will break the soil and send us diving core-bound, crushed. A firm foundation gives the illusion of permanence, folly in our shifting existence. How our bodies call us to wringing away our hard, even lines into bends, twists, and shapes out of daydreams, all moving at once. There's a sound to the rhythm of the beat of the beyond, and beyond is all of us. We're all breaking the boundaries set by our fear. We're unleashing, and this is the way of the dance. Music is the way we soak into deep pools of shadow, the way we sparkle in the spot, staggering scintillation, and the way we break bodies into beats, notes, and soul. We are everywhere the music flows. We show ways to the waves, to the world out beyond, where we give up our chains for unmaking. Bring in the night soaked in rich darkness and lights in the air, like night made concrete, like light that takes up space. The air so charged it glows in the soft, warm cacophony of the sound around us, made matter, made mortal, rising from the dark like revelation and carrying our hearts up. So even the peak of the grief of each fade into change makes us weep, makes us sing, and dancing we spin. Here we hold out our arms to the whole world, encompassing darkness, staggering light, and the mind to the body, to air, to the earth, and around the globe spinning like a dancer as she kicks her hips to the beat of the bang, and the stars that sing are spinning. And it's all one single motion in those moments. In time, you're in concert, you're inside, and there is nothing else. Inside all of us, there is nothing that doesn't belong. Thank you so much. And this is, I actually put this in my program before. Who read the Bukowski poem? Now I'm trying to remember, sorry. Does anyone remember?
Yeah, it was John.
It was John. Okay, I was confused as if it was John or Rick. So thank you, Rick. This is my Bukowski poem. Bukowski tells most of us to stop writing. In So You Want to Be a Writer, Chuck said, don't do it. Hyperlexia, an unusually early, intense interest and proficiency in reading and writing. Dysgraphia, childhood deficiencies with the physical formation of writing. I could talk to you about neurodiversity and autism and comorbidities, but my mother probably said it best. They saw me writing, she said, reached from infant carrier to pen and grabbed. All my childhood drawing was row upon row of badly formed letters and numbers, punctuation scattered like dandelions in the wild meadow of my illegible hand. I was 2, 3, and could not yet make whole words, but I practiced and practiced, this most magical of arts, determined to live in it. 4th grade or so, and I stopped being marked for bad handwriting as often. But then we learned cursive, and oh, how grateful I was for typing up homework in middle school. I still wrote, and I wrote, and I grew, and I wrote, and I worked not in writing, but never once stopping. The point is, fuck Bukowski. Art isn't supposed to be easy, a casual plaything that you can show off. Pour your pain in, your struggle, Battle your art for control. Tear line by line furrows in paper and ink and stone, your own skin, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how hard. Pull those words from the royal and cast them like thunderbolts onto the page. The oldest gods toil, they bear, they unleash, feed their own livers to their gift. Don't fake your pathos by drinking yourself too stupid to put words together. Fuck destiny. Or whatever comes easy as breathing. Let it hurt. Put the blood into the gouges you've carved in your art. Do it. Okay, I'm looking at my time. Okay. Okay. It's so, this has been a very serendipitous mic for me. Everyone's been kind of calling to mind things for me. Thomas, I'm so sorry to hear about your wife. When I was 40, I was given a terminal diagnosis. I was given about 10 years. This year, I'm getting some surgeries that might extend that, which would be really good. It's a new technique. But I felt that very hard. And I am very lucky to have caregivers in my life who care about me deeply. And I am sad for people who don't have people like you in their lives. So thank you. Gnosis and the unknowable. In this moment of unknowing, of unending wonder, I am unwound from my twisting knotwork, all my ornate iron spirals, and the eloquence I only show when I am seen by someone I long to be worthy for. Parapets crumble beneath my feet. I am finding peace where soil finds moisture, and we all mingle together. In this moment of unknowing, I am looking to the ground, I am looking to the sky, and I am both rooted and flying, inspired and elated, and the warmth of your love, your peaceful embrace, means more than my mind, than meaning, my memories, or how I wish the world would remember me. In this moment of unknowing, I am staggered by the song your stars make. I am breathlessly bewildered, and my own imagination fails and falls to the beauty of the truth. Beyond all being or unbeing, literal or metaphor, it's all real in your roiling eyes, and we are spinning, dancing delighted in spite of ourselves. In this moment of unknowing, I am called beyond the limits of my skin, the limitations of my stifled senses and wandering mind, of my boundaries and barriers and deepest, sharpest fears. I reach for your light, and oh, the farthest reaches of our lacework universe, resonant with all our many revolutions, dissolve me up and sweep me into forever. Thank you. I'm just skipping around here in my set because I think we put a few too many poems in here. I think. Okay, this is, I promised someone a poem about dreams, and I think I have a couple here. A dream about foxes. In the dark, carcasses hanging by their necks from the fence. I am asleep, but the red, green, blue of their entrails on the ground glistens like belief. Someone is speaking, and I strain to listen, but the drip, drip, drip of pooling fluids tightens around my head, blocking all other inconsequential sounds. The dream has its own language. It has the speech of little chittering insects and the whir of wings. It has the significance of decay. It transforms. Someone is speaking, but the tragic shreds of fur clinging to bone catch me, and again I am watching corpses make flowers. I think these were foxes before. In the dark, Someone is speaking. The foxes are melting into the earth. The words of the dream sublimate fox into flower, rot into loveliness. I am awake. Thank you. This one is the previous one is actually about a literal dream I had. I have a series of poems called A Dream About. They're all actual transcriptions of dreams I have because I have bizarre dreams. This next one has dream in the title, at least. I dreamed of God and how to get there. I dreamed of God in the corner, and God is watching God make daisies for small insects. And God is watching God kill a child. And God is watching us dig deep as we can to bury all of our children like daisy seeds buried in dirt made of dead flowers. I dreamed God's voices are all our voices, the voices of our fellow tree creature stones and the voices of the stone trees on gathered planets around so many stars, and the voices of the stars between them and their worlds. I dreamed we were one, within God, within us. Is this the way we slid from the mind of God? Our ignition, our dissociation, and our downfall from godness and grace into fractured reality. And here it was, all in a bang, life, strife, time, and turmoil. Everything that God's wisdom had warned us of, every shredded certainty scattered to the pieces peace was made of once, before the beginning, before the wait, the word. God, I dreamed, believes God's self to be a billion trillion sparks, light and darksome electric absences and space stuff and void stuff, all scattered to a wilderness of being, bright and shifting mists and novas, growth and change and change. There is no stillness and no unity here. We flee God, sacred sphere, and mourn our faults and fissures. What do they mean, these fragments of the infinite? Why does God feel closer when I focus on the fractals of a leaf? We so dimly see signs, fading, flowering, and flaming out, but nothing is created or destroyed. So I love us all now, as I love our rock and tree creature world, and our singing sun, and the vain deep dreaming of the cosmos, and eternity, and us, one with God's joy, and how it will feel when we finally remember it. Thank you. Do you want me? And here I've got one more if you want.
One more would be great.
Cool, it's short. I'll just close with this. The voices of the world. The clicks of the crickets out my door are louder than the music I am playing, but they syncopate the beat, lovingly laddering sound like water surrounding me. And I sing for the wishes of voices of old, and I patter my hands and I tap fingertips onto my desk. This is magic, this music, and the whoosh of a car up the hill and the horn sounding blends with the music, the crickets, my body in motion, my voice wavering, and the whine of electricity overhanging like high-flying wires through the cacophony, through the chaos, through every sound everywhere trembling together, the words emerging from the morass, hidden signals from my silent mind. I can hear voices in the noises of the world, and I listen, wondering where they would lead me if I were to follow them. Thank you so much for having me.